My name is Bella. I am 22 years old. I live in a small apartment in the city. It is a simple place. Just one bedroom, a small kitchen, and a living room. It is enough for me. My life is simple. I work in a little bookstore. I like the smell of old books. I like the quiet. But sometimes it feels a little lonely. My sister, Jane, has a different life. She is 5 years older than me. Jane's life is not simple. It is perfect. She has a big, beautiful house with a large garden. White flowers grow near the windows. She has a good job in a big office. She is smart and beautiful. And she has a perfect husband. His name is Alex. I love my sister very much. When we were little girls, she always took care of me. She protected me. I always looked up to her. I wanted to be like her. So, when she met Alex, I was so happy for her. He seemed perfect for her. He is handsome. He has kind eyes and a warm smile. He has a good job, just like Jane. He buys her flowers. He tells her she is beautiful. He treats her like a queen. They look so happy together, like a picture from a magazine. The perfect couple. Every weekend, I visit them. It is my favorite part of the week. I take a bus from my small apartment to their big house. When I arrive, Jane opens the door with a big hug. "Bella, I'm so glad you're here," she always says. The house always smells wonderful, like baking cookies or fresh flowers. It feels warm and safe. It feels like home. A better home than my small, lonely apartment. Alex is always there too. He smiles at me. "Welcome, Bella," he says. His voice is deep and calm. "Our weekend is not complete without you." He makes me feel welcome. He makes me feel like family. We spend the weekend together. We cook dinner. Jane and I chop vegetables, while Alex tells funny stories about his work. We laugh a lot. Then we eat in their beautiful dining room. We watch movies in the evening, curled up on a big, soft sofa. It is a perfect, happy picture. And I am in it. For a little while. I feel like I am part of their perfect life. I thought this was my life. The quiet bookstore during the week. The perfect, happy house on the weekends. I thought it would always be this way. But then, things started to change. Small things at first. So small, I thought I was imagining them. It started a few months ago. It was a sunny Saturday. We were in the kitchen. Jane was making her famous lemon cake. I was helping her. Alex was leaning against the counter, watching us. Jane was wearing a yellow dress. It was her favorite. I was wearing a simple blue shirt. Jane needed more lemons. She laughed and said, "Oh, I forgot the most important part. I'll be right back." She went out to the garden. There is a small lemon tree there. So it was just me and Alex in the kitchen. The room was quiet for a moment. I continued mixing the cake batter. Alex pushed himself off the counter. He walked closer to me. "That's a nice color on you, Bella," he said softly. I looked up, a little surprised. "Oh, thank you," I said. He smiled his warm smile. But then he added, Blue is definitely your color. It brings out your eyes, much better than yellow on Jane. My hands stopped mixing. I felt a strange feeling in my stomach. It was a compliment, a nice thing to say. But the way he said it, much better than on Jane. It felt wrong. He was talking about my sister, his wife. I didn't know what to say. I just gave a small, nervous smile and looked back down at the cake batter. Just then, Jane came back inside. She was holding 2 bright yellow lemons. She was smiling. "Found them," she said happily. Alex turned to her. He smiled his perfect smile. "Great, honey. This cake will be amazing." The moment was over. He acted like nothing happened. I told myself I was being silly. He was just being nice. That's all. But then it happened again. The next weekend. We were making dinner together, all 3 of us. Jane asked me to get a serving dish from a high shelf in the cupboard. I stood on my toes, reaching for it. It was too high. "Here, let me help," Alex said from behind me. He stood very close. I could feel the warmth from his body. He reached up, his arm brushing against my shoulder. He easily grabbed the dish. But as he brought it down, his hand accidentally touched mine. It was a quick touch, but it lingered, just for a second too long. His fingers were warm. "You have such gentle hands," he whispered. His voice was so low, I wasn't sure Jane heard it. She was busy at the stove. My heart started beating very fast. I quickly pulled my hand away. "Thanks," I mumbled. I took the dish and put it on the counter. My own hands were shaking a little. I felt his eyes on me. I didn't look at him. I looked at Jane. She was humming a happy tune. She hadn't noticed anything. Again, I told myself I was imagining things. It was an accident. He was just being friendly. Alex was a friendly person. But the small things kept happening. The compliments became more specific, more personal. And always when Jane was not in the room, or when she was busy and not listening. One time, we were looking at old photo albums. Jane was pointing out a funny picture of herself as a child. She was laughing. Alex was sitting next to me on the sofa. He leaned in close. "Jane is lucky to have a sister like you," he said quietly, his breath warm on my ear. "You seem to understand things more deeply." Another time, Jane was talking about a problem at her work. She was worried. After she finished, Alex looked at me, not at her. He looked at me and said, "Don't worry, Bella. Your sister is strong, but you have a special kind of light in your eyes, a quiet wisdom." What did that mean? Why was he saying these things to me? It felt like he was telling me a secret I did not want. I started to feel sick. The weekends were not happy anymore. I started to dread them. The beautiful house felt cold. Alex's warm smile now seemed like a mask. I felt so guilty. I felt like I was betraying my sister. But I wasn't doing anything. It was him. I tried to avoid being alone with him. When Jane left the room, I made an excuse to follow her. Or I would quickly grab my phone and pretend to be busy. I tried to sit on the other side of the room from him. I tried to keep a distance. It was hard. The house was big, but it started to feel very small. I thought maybe if I ignored it, it would stop. But it didn't. It got worse. One Friday night, we watched a sad movie. Jane cried a little. I felt sad too. After the movie, Jane was tired. "I'm going to bed, you two," she said. She kissed Alex on the cheek. Then she gave me a hug. "Good night, Bella. I love you." "I love you too, Jane," I whispered. Then she went upstairs. I started to clean up the snack bowls in the living room. I wanted to go to my guest room quickly. But Alex stood up. "Leave that, Bella," he said. "Let's talk for a minute." My heart pounded in my chest. "I'm really tired, Alex," I said. "I should go to sleep." He walked towards me. He stood in front of me, blocking my way. "Please," he said. His voice was serious. His kind eyes looked different. They looked intense. Scared, I stood still. "Bella," he said, his voice a low whisper. "You know, don't you? You know how I feel." I felt my blood run cold. I couldn't breathe. I just stared at him, my mind completely blank. "I can't stop thinking about you," he said. "From the first day I met you, I felt something. A connection. Something I don't have with Jane." I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. This was not happening. This perfect man, my sister's husband, was saying these terrible, impossible things to me. "No," I whispered. My voice was shaky. "Don't say that, Alex. That's not true. You love Jane." "Of course, I care about Jane," he said quickly. "But it's different with you. You're quiet, and you listen. You see the world in a special way. Jane, she lives on the surface of things." He was insulting my sister, right here in her own beautiful house. He was trying to poison my mind against her. Tears started to well up in my eyes. I felt a mix of fear and anger. "Stop it," I said, a little louder this time. "You need to stop." Suddenly, we heard a noise from upstairs. A floorboard creaked. Alex immediately took a step back. His face changed. The intense look was gone. He was the calm, normal Alex again. "You're right," he said, his voice back to its usual tone. "You're tired. We can talk another time." He turned and went into the kitchen to get a glass of water. I ran to the guest room. I closed the door and locked it. I leaned against it, my body shaking. I slid down to the floor and started to cry. Silently. I didn't want anyone to hear. This was real. I was not imagining it. My sister's perfect husband had feelings for me. And now I knew. The secret was no longer just his. It was mine too. What could I do? The question repeated in my head all night. I could not sleep. I stared at the dark ceiling. If I told Jane, it would destroy her. She loved him so much. Her perfect life would shatter into a million pieces. She would be heartbroken. And what if she didn't believe me? What if she thought I was jealous? What if she thought I was trying to ruin her happiness? I could lose my sister forever. The thought was unbearable. But what was the other option? To say nothing, to keep coming here every weekend, pretending everything was fine, to live with this horrible secret, to watch Alex look at me with those eyes when my sister wasn't looking. The guilt was already eating me alive. Every time Jane smiled at me, a sharp pain went through my heart. I was lying to her with my silence. The next morning, I felt sick. I went downstairs. Jane was in the kitchen making pancakes. She was humming her happy tune. She looked so beautiful and peaceful. She had no idea. "Good morning, sleepyhead," she said cheerfully. "Did you sleep well?" "Yes, fine," I lied. My voice sounded strange to my own ears. Alex was sitting at the table, reading the newspaper. He looked up at me and smiled. A normal, friendly smile. As if nothing happened last night. As if he hadn't said those terrible words. I felt like I was in a nightmare. I had a terrible choice to make. My sister's happiness or the truth. And I didn't know which one to choose. The next few weeks were torture. I made excuses not to visit. I said I had to work late. I said I wasn't feeling well. Jane was worried. She called me every day. "Are you okay, Bella? I miss you. The house feels so empty without you." Her words felt like knives in my heart. She missed me, and I was staying away because of her husband. Because I was a coward. I couldn't avoid her forever. She insisted I come for her birthday weekend. "Please, Bella. It won't be a celebration without you." I knew I had to go. I couldn't break her heart on her birthday. So I packed my bag. My hands trembled as I put my clothes in. I felt like I was walking into a trap. The whole weekend, I was on edge. I was a nervous wreck. I tried to act normal for Jane. I smiled. I laughed. But it was all fake. I felt like an actor in a very bad play. I tried to never be alone with Alex. I stayed glued to Jane's side. If she went to the garden, I went with her. If she went upstairs to get something, I followed. He noticed, of course. I saw a frustration in his eyes, a darkness behind the smile. On Saturday night, it was Jane's birthday dinner. She looked radiant in a new red dress Alex had bought her. He made a toast. "To my beautiful wife, Jane, the love of my life. May you be happy forever." Everyone clapped. I wanted to throw up. The love of his life. How could he stand there and lie like that? Later that evening, Jane was opening her presents in the living room. She was surrounded by colorful paper and ribbons. I felt a bit overwhelmed, so I stepped out onto the back porch for some fresh air. It was a cool, clear night. The stars were bright. I took a deep breath, trying to calm my racing heart. The screen door creaked open behind me. I knew who it was before I even turned around. "Bella," Alex said. I didn't turn. I kept looking at the stars. "Please leave me alone, Alex," I said. My voice was low but firm. "I can't," he said. He came and stood next to me. Too close. "We need to talk. I can't live like this, pretending." "There is nothing to talk about," I said, finally turning to face him. "You are married to my sister. That's the only thing that matters." It's not that simple, he insisted. He reached out and touched my arm. I flinched and pulled away as if I had been burned. Don't touch me, I hissed. His face hardened. You feel it too, Bella. I know you do. Why do you fight it? Jane and I, it's not what you think. It's just a routine. There's no passion, no real connection. With you, it's different. I feel alive. You are selfish, I said, my voice shaking with anger. You are destroying everything. You want to destroy her. You want to destroy me. You want to destroy our family. No, he said, stepping closer again. He cornered me against the railing of the porch. I love you, Bella. That's the truth. I love you. My mind went blank. The 3 words I had always dreamed of hearing from someone. But hearing them from him, my sister's husband, felt like a poison. What's going on out here? A new voice, Jane's voice. My heart stopped. I turned my head. Jane was standing in the doorway. She was holding a piece of her birthday cake. Her smile faded as she saw us. She saw how close he was standing to me. She saw the look on his face. She saw the tears in my eyes. What is it? She asked again. Her voice was small and scared. Alex jumped back. He immediately put on his mask. Nothing, honey. Bella was just feeling a bit sad. I was cheering her up. Jane looked from his face to mine. She knew me. She had known me my whole life. She could see the truth in my eyes. The terror, the guilt, the sadness. I couldn't lie anymore. I couldn't protect her from this. The lie was a bigger poison than the truth. I looked at my sister, my beautiful, trusting sister. My voice broke. Jane, I whispered, I have to tell you something. Please, please don't hate me. Tears streamed down my face. I told her everything. I started from the first comment in the kitchen. The strange compliments, the lingering touches, the things he said when she wasn't there. And I told her what he had just said to me. The terrible words. He told me he loves me, Jane. The porch was silent. The only sound was my own quiet sobbing. I was terrified to look at her. I expected her to scream, to cry, to call me a liar. But she was just still. She slowly turned her head and looked at Alex, her perfect husband. Her face was pale. She looked completely broken. Alex started to panic. She's lying, Jane. She's making it all up. She's always been jealous of you. Of us. His voice was loud and ugly. It wasn't the calm, kind Alex I knew. This was the real him. The liar. The manipulator. Jane just stared at him. She didn't say a word. Then I remembered something. A few weeks ago, he had tried to give me a small, folded piece of paper. I had refused to take it, but he had slipped it into the pocket of my coat. I had forgotten about it until now. I fumbled in my pocket. My fingers found it. I pulled it out. My hand was shaking so much I could barely open it. It was a note, in his handwriting. It said, I can't stop thinking about you. We need to find a way. I held it out to Jane. He gave me this, I whispered. Jane took the note. She looked at the handwriting. She knew his handwriting, of course. She had seen it on 1,000 birthday cards and love letters. The last piece of her perfect world crumbled. She looked up from the note. Her eyes were empty. There were no tears yet, just a vast, empty sadness. She looked at Alex. Her voice was quiet, but it was as sharp as glass. "Get out," she said. "Jane, honey, please listen to me," he started. "Get out of my house." "Now," she repeated. Her voice didn't shake. It was cold, final. He looked at her, then at me. His face was a mask of hate. He turned without another word, walked through the house, and out the front door. We heard his car start and drive away into the night. Then Jane fell. Her legs just gave out. She collapsed onto the porch floor. And finally, she started to cry. A deep, heartbreaking sob that seemed to come from the center of the earth. I rushed to her. I sat on the floor and held her. I held my big sister, just like she used to hold me when I was a little girl, and I was hurt. We cried together for a long, long time. Under the bright, cold stars. The weeks after that were the hardest of my life. Jane's perfect life was gone. The beautiful house felt empty and haunted. I stayed with her. I couldn't leave her alone. We talked for hours and hours. She told me about the little cracks in her perfect marriage. The times he was cold. The times he made her feel small. Things she had ignored because she wanted the perfect picture to be real. And I told her about my loneliness, about how much I looked up to her. For the first time, we were not the perfect older sister and the simple younger sister. We were just two women, two sisters, broken but together. It was a terrible choice to make. It felt like I was choosing between two awful possibilities. But I know now I made the right choice. The truth hurt. It hurt so much. But it was like a painful medicine. A lie would have been a slow poison, killing us both over years. Our lives are different now. Jane sold the big house. It held too many bad memories. She has a smaller place now, closer to me. She is healing. Slowly, day by day. Our relationship is stronger than ever. It's not built on a perfect image anymore. It's built on truth, on shared pain, on real, messy, unconditional love. I learned something important. A perfect life is usually just a story we tell ourselves. Real life is complicated. It's messy. And love, real love, is not about perfect pictures. It's about being honest. It's about being brave enough to face the truth, even when it's the hardest thing in the world. If you are listening, and you have a difficult choice to make, please be brave. The truth might feel like a storm. But after the storm, the sun can come out again. A lie just keeps you in the dark forever. Choose the truth. Choose yourself. Choose the people you truly love. It is worth it. You are worth it. Keep going.